One of the things that I'll be doing in this video is to show you how to apply proper risk management. And I'm going to be using a live trade example to show you how to apply a proper risk management. And also, I'm also going to show you how I'm able to arrive at those setups, the entry, the stop loss, and even a take profit. So if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Divine, and what I do here is document how I trade and make videos that will improve how you approach trading. If you want content like this video, subscribe, and tell me in the comment section what pair we're picking this week. I'll be right back. One of the very first ways to apply a proper risk management is by simply knowing how much you're going to lose to a particular setup. I'm going to be using USJPY to show you a clear example of how to analyze the chart and probably how to apply a proper risk management. For us to analyze USJPY, the first thing we want to do is by simply understanding what price is doing on the higher time frame. Where is price coming from and where is price going to? In this case, we want to be using daily time frame to understand where price is coming from and where price is going to. And one of the ways to do it is by simply zooming in and identifying the lowest point in the market and the highest point in the market. In this case here, we're simply going to first identify the lowest point and the highest point. And as you can clearly see, here is the lowest point and here is the highest point. That means for us to draw our support and resistance, it has to be from this low to this high. In this case here becomes our what? Support. And here becomes our what? Resistance. This is simply a very valid what? Support and resistance. And the reason it's valid is because there's at least 3 or more touches on this trend. The next thing you want to do is simply interpret what price is doing at this particular support and resistance. And as you can clearly see, whenever price gets support, price tends to buy to the resistance. And when price gets to resistance, price tends to sell to this what? Support. Now for us to know if price will continue this pattern, we want to simply identify key levels. Key levels will help us understand if price is going to continue in this pattern or price is going to change the pattern. And the key levels are simply the last point price made a reversal from on the trend. In this case, here is simply what? Resistance key level. And here is simply what? Support key level. These key levels is going to help us understand if price is going to change pattern or price is going to continue the pattern. And for us to understand if it's going to change pattern or continue the pattern, we want to simply go to the 4 hours time frame and identify market structure and also identify supply or demand zone. Now for us to identify market structure, it has to be from the key level, right? It has to be from the last key level. And in this case, the support key level is simply the last key level. How the price move from the support key level to the current place price is. That means how the price move from this low to this high here, which is the last point price got to. Now for us to understand how price move from this low to this high, we want to identify the swing highs and the swing low. And if you look closely, you see that price was giving us an uptrend and price was giving us swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, and here is simply the last high. And this high give us this low, right? That means on this uptrend, here was simply the what? The last low that gave us this high. Now this high gave us a what? A low here. This high gave us this low here, which caused a what? A change of character. Now what we want to do next now is simply understand the swing highs and the swing lows that was created when price was going from this high to this low. Now with this, we can be able to identify what? Supply and demand zone that will enable us know how to continue price to where price is going to. In this case here, price is going to downtrend. That means we're going to be looking for sell opportunities to continue to downtrend. And the reason why we know that price is going to downtrend is because price took out the previous low that was meant to create a what? A new high. Now if I were to look at how price moved from this particular high to this low, you see that price was giving us what? A high, a low, a ranging phase, a low, a high, a low, a ranging phase, a low. That means from this particular structure, here is obviously the what? The last high that gave us what? This last low here. Now our interests have changed. We want to identify supply and demand from this particular high to this low. And if we were to do that, here becomes our what? First point of supply, and here becomes second point of supply. Right? That means we have identified the structure and we've identified the supply and demand zone. The next we want to do now is simply go to the 1 hour time frame and refine these two zones to become a point of interest, and then know if price is going to respect it to continue the sell. I want to be doing this on the what? 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, we are doing two things. First, refining that particular supply zone to become a point of interest. And secondly, identifying what? Liquidity. Now, for us to refine this particular first point of supply, which is simply here, we're going to be using this particular candlestick that appeared here as a doji to refine this zone. And for us to refine this other one here, we're going to be using this pin bar here to refine this zone. Now, our interest now is simply wait for price to come into any of this level, and then we'll look for an opportunity for a sell. Now, what this means is this: that since price, what this means is this: that since price has given us this low, this buy from this low is meant to what? Stop at this particular what? Point of interest. And if price does that, we'll be looking for a what? A sell. And currently, price is currently at that point. And for us to know if this place is going to be respected, we want to simply study how price moved from this particular low to this point to know if this place is going to be respected. If you look closely, price was giving us structure as well too. Swing low, a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, a swing low, and this is simply a swing high. That means in this structure, here is obviously what? The last swing low, and the current point of interest is simply the last swing high. We want to simply understand how price moved from this to this on the 15 minutes time frame. Remember, price has gotten to our point of interest. That means there's possibility for a sell. Now, for us to sell, we want to identify the point that price has to take out for us to sell. And in this case, for us to simply sell, the point that price has to take out is simply this low here. Right? This low. Because had it been price I want to buy, this place is simply a valid place for price to buy from. Why? Because there's a low, there's a point of interest, and there's also what? The liquidity to hold the point of interest. Now, because price has filled this particular point of interest, we want to simply have a confirmation that price is now in a downtrend. And what that means is that here becomes the what? The high here. And here is currently acting as the low. We want to identify our entry. We want to simply understand the structure that price gave us from this high to this low, identify the point of interest, and then use liquidity to know how to enter the trade. In this case here is simply the structure high, here is the low. And from this point to this point is simply one long movement. I've identified the structure. This one to identify now is simply liquidity. From this particular high to this low, price also gave us what? Liquidity at this point here. That if price wants to simply sell, price will have to take out the liquidity to continue the sell. Now the last thing is simply what? Point of interest. And obviously, here is clearly a what? A good point of interest. That means the whole thing you want to do if price open tomorrow will be Monday. So simply wait for price to simply buy back to this side and then continue your sell. And my entry is going to be from this particular point. If price take out this liquidity first of all, here, if price take out this liquidity, I'm going to be looking to sell from this particular level here for a sell. I take profit is going to be here. If here is simply going to be the last low, right? Because price have not given us confirmation that here's the last low. Price can still open tomorrow and continue to sell. But whichever point price gets to as the low before giving us a retracement is going to be my take profits. In this case here, here's going to be acting as my last low here for now. Things can change. My stop loss is going to remain unchanged. Simply going to be here. This is going to be my stop loss, right? Stop loss. And my entry is also unchanged here. And the reason I'm taking this entry is because there's liquidity, there's structure, and there's point of interest for me to take this entry. Now, how do I apply the risk management to this particular pair? Since I've understood how many people my stop loss is, and I've understood my risk reward, what I want to do now is to simply decide how much I want to lose to this particular setup, right? For example, if I choose to risk $18 on this particular setup, I'm going to get $104. Now, if I choose to risk $180, I'm going to be getting $1,300. So you want to decide for yourself how much am I going to put into this particular setup and not be panicking or be scared and relax and allow price to do its thing. It's, it's all speculation because price can simply come into this particular level and give us stop loss. It's not new, like it's normal, right? But your ability to understand how much you want to put into this trade and relax, let price do its thing is what makes you a good trader. Risk management. That'll be all for this video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.